Hi guys, welcome back to LAWLOR'S Law, your raw, unfiltered Birmingham City podcast where we talk about that absolute shite show yesterday that was Derby at home. I'm joined by Jordan. How are we doing?
Evening, how are we?
I mean, yesterday was a bit shit, weren't it? But we'll get on to that. But
Yeah,
yeah,
we'll
all
we'll,
good.
we'll do that one.
We'll do that. And we're joined by his first appearance and the fourth member that we've been speaking so much about, Mr. Franklin. John Franklin, how are we doing?
Hello, mate. You all right?
Oh, I'm good. It's good to finally have you on, man. Busy life,
I
isn't
know.
it?
Yeah, apologies. Life's been getting in the way.
We're all busy. We all work. Like we get it, man. But it's just nice to finally have you on. Everyone can see your face and know who you are. So let's do this, right? Shall we just get straight into it, lads? Derby at home, 1-1, shit show. And listen, anyone who looks at the stats will probably think we deserve that win that game. I think we were lucky to get a point. In all fairness, the ball barely dribbled past the line for our goal. So that's what I'm going with, and I'm going to hand it over to Jord.
Yeah, so I mean, for me, that it's close to the QPR game where you almost feel sorry for the opposition team that they've not come away with more. I'm hearing Derby fans walking out that ground saying that, I was stood waiting for you, Jamie, and they were walking past me going, we should have won that. And 68% possession and the second half of just constant waves of attacks. We could probably sit there and say we could be the same position, but on the day, I think I tend to agree with them. I think they do. And it fucking kills me to say because I don't like Derby. I don't think that the start of this season we were looking at Derby being a threat to us. Same as Sheffield Wednesday, Charlton, teams such as that we've only been able to get points out of 1 point out of at a time. We were looking at your Southamptons, your Sheffield Uniteds. Okay, yes, their season's not gone as clear as the way we thought it would. It's starting to pick up now. But these are the teams that we were threatened by, but we were convinced that we could get some out of. And I think now we've gone back to good old Blues, looking over our shoulder instead of looking up and not worrying about who's behind us. It's now starting to worry me that we've got to be looking at a real bad relegation scrap again if we don't hurry up and sort this out.
I mean, looking at our next few fixtures as well. I mean, we've really got to be worried. Yes, okay, they had their one shot on target they scored off, but then, as you said, it barely dribbled past the line. And to be fair, yeah, we could have got more out of it. I think Nelson was their saviour yesterday, to be honest. I think there were several blocks he made that, to be fair, I don't think they would have gone in, but yeah. I think Jack Robinson was a standout player. I think that's his best game in a blue shirt, and I think you'd both agree there.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen shouts on X and such as where people are saying that in January, Adjumang's the sort of player that we should be looking at. At the moment, I don't think we've got any right to turn around and say that we should be looking at those sort of players because I'm not being funny. Why would you want to come to us at the minute when we're like this? Yes, we can go. We've got the financial backing. We've got the 60,000 seater stadium being built, but our chances of going to the Premier League that we were signing players off in the summer, that's dwindling. And we really need to sell them a dream now. And I know that Wagner's good at doing that, but any player who has played in the Championship will look at results like Sheffield Wednesday, Charlton, Derby and go, well, do I really want to go and play there? When your captain's getting sent off in the last kind of kicks of the game, I think that goes to speak volumes as to where we're at as a team now. I think, I think earlier this season we were all kind of riding the coattails of that 111 points, and rightfully so. I will say rightfully so. But at this very moment in time, I think we need to be looking at ourselves and going, like, these people that have made these YouTube lists where Birmingham were first and second to go up and, we were favourites to get top goal scorer with Kyogo and, signing in the summer was our players in every list you look at. When them mid-season recaps come in now from your likes of Benjamin Bloom, Callum Fowler, stuff like that, they're just going to laugh at their predictions about us because what the hell are we playing at?
I think Kyogo's really struggling. I really do think he's struggling.
Personally, though, so John, you're the same position as me. You've worked in football setups all your life. You've played a good level. A striker can't be coming on in the 70th minute and impacting a game. It doesn't work like that. And I've said this in previous podcasts in weeks gone by. They need to be given time. And I think he got a lot longer on yesterday. And he looked sharp. He really did. I mean, I heard people around grumbling, which is the first time I've heard that with him coming on the pitch. But I genuinely think he looked sharp. And, on another day, he gets a penalty. And, he breaks down the back line and he scares the defence. I think that we've got your likes of your Stansfields.
Your strikers are only as good as your players around you, though, to be fair.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, Dux got off to an absolute flyer with us, and I've heard people say, well, he's not offering anything. Well, there's a reason why. Is because Davis has constantly said that Stansfield is a 9, not a 10, right? So why is he playing Stansfield in the 10 if he's admitted time after time that he's a 9? We've got Dutch whose hold-up play is phenomenal. So put him in the 10. Get his one-touch passes and flick-ons onto Stansfield or a Kyogo, someone who's running in behind. It's pointless having him up there, putting it on his head, letting him hold the play up for no one to join him. We're not playing an 8
best position was there. Dutch's best position was a number 10, to be honest.
Exactly. James, me and you mentioned it yesterday, James, before the game, didn't we? That you like to see your Fujimoto's. I mean, week after week.
Screaming for him yesterday. Screaming for him on that bench.
I'm getting kind of fed up with hearing my own voice about him now because I'm starting to wonder if the hype was real or whether Davis knows something we don't. But at the same time, we won't see it unless he gets some game time.
He's got to get some games on this week. He's got to get some games. There was 3 games in 6 days coming up. He has to have some fucking game time. Kyogo yesterday as well. I will point out that I thought he played really well off the bench. And there was one part, and all the fans around me said the same thing, where Koumas has got the ball on the left, and shock horror, he doesn't deliver the ball. But in the time that Koumas has stood still, moved, Kyogo's made 3 different runs around the centre-backs, and they're all kind of panicking and looking at him. Dykes headed it across goal yesterday, and I think it was Nelson got a toe to it because Kyogo's got a tap in. Like, there was that many moments. That shot from Kyogo, by the way, at the end, the angle I was sat at, it was bending in. If that defender gets head to it, that was going in off the post. Or just
100% it's going in. But this is the thing is that I've said this since. I mean, you can historically go back through and check the amount of times I've said this online. If you watch Kyogo's kind of reading of the game, he's always making 2 or 3 runs before we've even looked up to pick him out. This is the issue. I said this yesterday to Justin. I was sat next to Justin yesterday, and I said, I absolutely adore Patrick Roberts. I think he is the best footballer we've seen since Chris Burke.
Yeah. Technically
phenomenal. If he'd just picked his head up 2 seconds earlier to find a run, he'd be, starting top 5 in the Premier League because he is a phenomenal player. But we just need that 2 seconds earlier to pop his head up and read the pass. Dimmy the same on the other side.
I'm adamant yesterday, Dimmy didn't go off. We win that game.
Dimmy looked really threatening within the first 10 minutes of the game. Patrick Roberts, again, class. I think he needs to deliver the ball a bit more. If we're going to go on to Koumas, I'm not being funny. There was a moment in that game yesterday where he's got the ball on the left-hand side and then Jack Robinson screaming for it to play it back so he could put it in the box. And I'm not being funny. He tried to take on 3 players. If I was Jack Robinson, I would have just run up and drop kicked him because literally you're screaming at him.
Stano was the same, John. I watched Stano 3 times yesterday work himself to kind of bright red in the face. You know the kind of Stano that we see when a player's gone lunging in on him and he loses his head, and he's usually doing it to a referee. He was doing that to Koumas 3 times yesterday because he ran past him, and he's doing these fancy little flicks. And I'm thinking, mate, you're not Ronaldinho. You're not good enough to be doing it. Release the ball, play the pass, stop trying to take every man on. Also, why are you trying to beat three defenders by doing step overs and then looking up for a cross when your only attacking threat at that point is Stansfield and Kyogo, 2 players who are not going to win headers against a massive back line? It's just pointless.
He's the Timu Jefferson Montero, and he beats a man then tries to beat a man again. It's like, at least Montero could cross the ball.
I said this to you, Jamie, on the phone the other night. I think it was Christmas Eve, wasn't it? We spoke. Yeah. And I said that he's got the attacking threat of Manny Longello in defence. So, like, Manny Longello, attacking-wise, is better than Koumas.
Agree.
But I'd say defensively, Longello's worst part was that he couldn't track back. It's basically a reverse player. Koumas can't attack, and he gets back, but then he doesn't do anything. He just kind of stands there and looks around. Then you've got the issue of, well, you've got Keshi. Keshi got found out against Sheffield United massively. You know, I think this is our problem now, is looking at the squad depth isn't as great as what we first believed. And I will shout Max out on this one. He called this last week. The squad isn't as deep as we first thought.
He's called it in September.
Yeah, we can say this about injuries. We can say that about suspensions. That shouldn't be happening if we're as serious as we were at the start of this season. Now, it does kind of take me on to the next point of sacking Davies, which ever-growing groans coming throughout the fan base of wanting him gone. But do you blame Davies 100%? Or can we turn around and say, well, he's only as good as the players that he's got at his disposal?
I was going to ask this question, and I'm going to get pelters for it. Do you think potentially some players are starting to down tools a little bit because they're sick of his shit?
Klarer yesterday. I don't think Klarer never does that. Yes, he's rash. Yes, he can go in and he can shit out something. He would never have ever done something like that last season.
Didn't even know Klarer was supposed to go that high.
No, I genuinely looked at that, and me and Justin turned to each other and went, he's done that out of pure frustration of what the game was doing. You know, yeah. And look at how easily he walked off. I've watched the replays back, and you can see him muttering to Stano, and you can see him like kind of pointing at people. And I think the thing is we got outclassed by Eustace. Yeah. We got outshone by someone who wasn't worthy of the job with us when Wagner come in. And as much as, people were chanting dirty Villa bastard to him and stuff, I didn't agree with the sacking at the time, and I still don't agree with it now. I think he outclassed Davies technically and tactically yesterday. He showed more passion from a more threatening position, so his yellow card come in the second half after his team were down to 10 men because they were defending too deep. Yeah. You know, that to me shows you a manager that is basically saying, we've got these on the ropes, boys. Go and kill them. Don't sit back and defend. Go and kill him. That's why he got a yellow card ultimately yesterday. And the thing is Davies isn't. Yes, he isn't doing a great job, and I will hold my hands up and say that now. And I don't want to be the revolving door of management like Watford, but at the same time, can we lay some blame at recruitment?
Yeah, 100% we can. 100%. I said, one thing I did say yesterday about the game as well is John Eustace has showed us exactly how the fuck you play with 10 men, because that Sheffield United performance was disgusting. Every time we go down to 10 men, we kind of forget, apart from Hull at home, we showed our teeth. But my God, like, when we went down to 10 men against Sheff, we kind of capitulated. Whereas Eustace showed us how to play with 10 men. And we knew what was coming. I said at half-time when they went down to 10 men, I said in about the 40th minute when we started to pile the pressure on, I said, if we don't make this 1-1 for half-time, this is going to be a very long 45 minutes because we know what Eustace is like. Yeah. And it happened. And it was It was painful. They
The
did
thing
all
is,
the, they choltened us. They did the dark arts. They did it well. They played to what they did. They did what they had to do. I think we are just recruitment is massive, and January needs to be big, and we need to fucking sort it out now.
I want to know. I'll pass this on to you in a second, John, because you've not really got much in here because I'm just on a rant. But
Yeah.
I want to know who sanctioned stuff like Gardner Hickman being sent out on loan, because the guy is shit, isn't he? And from stats I'm seeing, he's one of the. I think we've got a no recall option on him, as far as I'm aware. But did you see what he did to Hayden Hackney yesterday? He danced the kid into a rash challenge. And we know that he's got it in him. Why have we let him go? What? Because he didn't fit at right back when we signed Asai Samuel. I'm sorry, but sell Asai Samuel to Blackburn, give him in for free, give me Gardner Hickman back. I would rather see Gardner Hickman in that shirt right now than Koumas, than Bright Asai Samuel, than I don't want to point him out because he actually had a really good game yesterday, but cash in. Again, I think we need to talk about, Jack Robinson. His best performance in joining us. I think that's because he actually managed to stay on the pitch for 90 minutes without breaking someone's leg
and he played in his proposition, left centre half, looked comfortable.
But this is what I mean. As much as I'd like to praise his goal and stuff, it could have been anyone's, and I think there was a foul in the build up to it anyway. But by the by, the bloke had a really good game yesterday, and I think next to this is more on my personal opinion. I've seen people slating him online, but my personal opinion from watching that 90 minutes yesterday, Robinson and Mark Leonard were head and shoulders above anyone else for man of the match.
I thought first half Patrick Roberts had that left wing back on skates as well. I said before you joined this, George, I was saying to Tommy, the amount of times Patrick Roberts picked up that ball on the left, and you would have seen it on the right. And the left wing back's looking at his centre half like, fucking help me. Hello.
Yeah.
Because every time Roberts got that ball and drove forward, they shit themselves.
See, this is what I mean. John, I think you just said it then. You're only as good as the players around you. And Roberts being supported by a Marvin Dukes who's hiding behind two centre halves and a Tomoki Iwata who doesn't know whether he's coming or going past him or whether he should stay and wait for the whipping or, I love Iwata. He gets around everywhere. But yesterday, he just kind of seemed up Roberts' arse, and it was just kind of like, let the bloke run, let him get through. He needs to be able to work his magic. He doesn't need someone overshadowing him for the overlap because he'll do it himself. And I think that's the thing with Roberts is our team at the moment is wasted on him.
Yeah,
we need to build again January. If we make him a permanent signing, which I don't know how feasible that is, but if that's the case, build the whole team around Roberts. Don't worry about anyone else. Build around Roberts. You need to bring in a right back. You need to bring in a left back that can play diagonal balls, because that's one thing that I've noticed we've stopped doing. There's no diags whatsoever in the games anymore.
I'm really worried about our squad depth going into the next one. I mean, we've got a lot of fixtures. I mean, look at the next three fixtures. We've got Southampton, Watford, and
Southampton home, Watford away, and then Cover home.
I mean, and then look at our squad depth, and then you're like, boys, we're actually sitting there going, where do we pick up points here?
And I don't want to hear anyone saying injuries. Yes, they happen, but every team deals with injuries. Every team deals with red cards. It's been bad recruitment from the start. You knew Buchanan was out till the new year, yet you didn't sign another fucking left back. Do not tell me Jack Robinson was your replacement left back. Bullshit. Also, don't tell me Cashin is your replacement left back. Bullshit.
Massive shout out yesterday to Alphonse Samstead, because when he come on, the guy was running his fucking bollocks off. Do you know what, right? I would be happy. I would be happy to give him, another start and just basically say, look, okay, let bygones be bygones. You didn't get as much time as you should have last season when we really needed to kind of capitalise on having you here. Now we're fucked. Let's play you and give you this time, because the kid literally. And I don't mean this because I've never really, seen too much, but he seems to just kind of come in and understand the club. He kind of bleeds that blue blood where he's walked in and he's gone, okay, I'm here. I represent the badge. I'm going to do everything I can. He's not complained once.
Yeah.
He's not walked around moping like I've pointed out now. Sorry, Samuel. Watch him go out for a warm up, and the kid's tapping his arm because he doesn't want to clap at the fans. He doesn't want to take his coat off for a warm up. Like Samstead literally would stop and take photos with young kids, even if he's not in the starting 11 or even if he's not in the match day squad.
One thing I want people to look at was yesterday with Stampstead. He came on the pitch at left back, he ended up at right back, and he went to centre half. One thing that I noticed yesterday, and I don't know if anyone else copped this, is the moment Klarer got sent off, you could see they organised it and went back free. Didn't even shrug his shoulders, just went, okay, straight to the right centre half. No questions, just went, okay, that's where I am, fine. That man will do anything.
There's got to be something in the fact that he starts in the Iceland squad. Before last season, he was in more Iceland squads than Williamson was starting. And since he's joined us, that's kind of dwindled a little bit. But there's got to be something in the fact that he's an international footballer, that he's obviously good enough to play a Champions League football team and to be in the national squad starting 11 every week when, our number 10 that we're so reliant on wasn't getting in that team. I know it's a small nation, Iceland, but there's something about him. I've watched him a few times, and yes, Port Vale, he was very, very kind of shaky. But wouldn't you be if you hadn't played much football in 9.5 months?
Match fitness. That man will do whatever you tell him to do.
He's got to have that consistency in the games. Like, if you give him the game time, then that match sharpness is only going to come from that. Like, you can train to your heart's content. You're only going to get that match fitness by playing.
Yeah.
And
I think Cashin had a good game. Klarer, silly. You saw the player's head was coming down. Why didn't he put his head on it? Don't know. I think he did down tools. Jack Robinson, absolutely class. Best game in a blue shirt. Robert, class. I think he needs to get his head up and play that ball across a bit more. It ain't always got to be in the air, though, boys. Like, I'm not being funny. You play that low and hard across the box. 9 times out of 10, it's coming off a defender and going in.
Yeah, just
you've just got to use your head a little bit more. I think Koumas. He's living off his dad's name.
Just there's like Jordan said
Mark
it when
Leonard,
we first signed him.
Mark Leonard even come in and put in a good performance yesterday.
I thought Leonard was solid.
Leonard, do you know what? Right, he's such an underrated squad player that okay, he's not a Tommy Doyle. He's not going to be in there every week. But you tell me now, right? And this is, I'm segueing away from who did well yesterday. Let's point out someone who, to me personally, should have been. I think Max has called him this in the past. One of the undroppables, one of the untouchables. What does Paik offer yesterday, other than passing it backwards and sideways, right? That Leonard doesn't. Leonard yesterday was running his fucking bollocks off, trying to break down the line. He's in and out constant. His passing can be a bit suspect sometimes, but yes, it wasn't too bad. Tries to win headers. He doesn't shoot on command. He tries to play and break down the lines.
He done all right yesterday, Paik did, to be fair.
I didn't. I think the complete opposite. I think that I said this yesterday before the game, and during the game, I reiterated it to the people around me that so we've got Tommy Doyle in the team, and we're going like the blokes class. That's the level that we should be looking at if we are as serious as we are about going up and being a Premier League team. Paik is the level that we needed when we were struggling and looked like a world beater in League One, but he's a mid-table championship midfielder. He's no higher than that. I think if we want to move up to the next level, we've got to admit to ourselves now that, yes, he's been great for the shirt sales, and yes, he's done us a really good job, and he's scored some really good goals. But I think his time is kind of coming to the point where you kind of go, right, it's make or break for you now, because if we're going to make big signings and we go out and make this real big statement centre mid signing, you put them and Doyle next to each other, Paik doesn't touch the team again.
No, he's bench at best at that point. I will give Paik a bit yesterday in terms of I felt sorry for him a little bit. The amount of times he looked up, gave it to Koumas, and Koumas just gave it straight back to him, and he's looking at Koumas like, "What the fuck do you want me to do? There is 3 players in
Yeah,
front of me."
yeah,
Koumas kept just throwing it back to him like a potato.
I get that, but like he's the one to me that's consistently week in, week out got so many kinks in his armour that I'm looking and I'm going like, yeah, you did us a really good job that season that, we got rid of Eustace and you could have left that summer and you stayed and played League One, and fair play to you, you didn't down tools and you've actually tried. But are you at the level we need now, or are you a Stoke midfielder in the next 2 years?
Don't get me wrong, I'd keep him as a squad player, but he wouldn't get much games on.
Yeah, no, this is what I mean. But then I'm looking at now in the past who we've got rid of, who's actually going out and doing stuff. And the top two, so in the top 5 midfielders in the Championship currently are Jordan James and Taylor Gardner-Hickman. Now, you're not telling me that Paik is anywhere near as good as either of them.
No.
And neither of them are around the club.
I don't think he is, especially not at the minute. Another one I want to add into that is Williamson. I think he come on yesterday and absolutely dire.
But I think, again, he's being asked to play. He was put in a deeper defensive midfield role, and that just isn't his game. You could see he was so uncomfortable the moment he came on yesterday.
He's not had a chance to recover from his injuries. I mean, Sheffield United, why the fuck he was started at Sheffield United when he's been out for so long injured? You don't start players that quickly after. Like, this is what I'm talking about with squad depth. There is squad depth there, right? But if you're choosing to start a half-fit Williamson over a
Dykes, Kyogo,
Fujimoto,
who definitely has fitness.
Yeah, so if you're starting Williamson over Fujimoto, that tells me all I need to know that he isn't keen on him. Get him sold on his way. Stop putting him in the matchday squad, because there's no point in wasting the kid's career just kind of sat there. We'll never know what he was like. Let's stop getting our hopes up over him, because obviously you're that obsessed with the 6'9", long-haired, fucking dangly piece of piss. That no, I'm being harsh on Williamson. I do like him, but you know what I mean. Like, what's he done to deserve coming straight into a starting 11 at Sheffield United and then coming off the bench against Derby when Kanye's been there working his bollocks off behind the scenes to not get game time?
I mean, I think our next transfer window is big, and if that is Davis going to be in charge at that window, we don't know.
My argument with Davis, and I keep saying this, is my worry is if we're going to sack Davis, and I don't like seeing anyone lose a job, but time has to be, like, Wagner's got to make a choice here, because you can't keep someone, give them a January transfer window, then cut the plug. You've got to either do it now, get someone in so they can bring their recruitment in, or you've got to stick and twist at this point. You've got to stick with Davis. You cannot do what we did last time and fuck someone off January the 1st, get someone like Mowbray in, who Mowbray was unfortunate with what happened, and it was because I believe he would have kept us up, get his signings in, and then Gary Rowett has to step in because obviously he stepped away. We need to kind of either cut him now, cut ties, and get it gone.
I mean, if we do get rid of Davis, let's have a look. Who is out there really?
Gary O'Neill. It's the name that everyone's saying. It's the one that keeps coming up. If Nathan Jones walks anywhere near my fucking club, I am fucking off to be a Scunthorpe United fan. You know.
How would you feel about Rowett?
Do you know what? Right, fucking hell off to the guy. If you're working in a team with Shariki Dembele and Pochetta, and you're still grinding out results and still get sacked, like, what the fuck have you done wrong to deserve that? But I don't think for where we want to go, he's what we need.
No, I agree.
I think we need to be ambitious. I really do think we need to be ambitious. It worked for them slags over in B6 when they appointed Dunar. That we need to be ambitious with a managerial.
The problem is, with the championship, no big dogs can
Just
sit down to
shouting
us.
this out right now. I think it was Thailand or something this week. Ange Postecoglou got a job. If he's willing to go down to that fucking level, surely we can go in and chuck some money at him and say, "Oh, Davies down as a number 2 again." You know, we like Big Ange. You know, maybe.
I don't know if my heart could take Ange Ball. I love Ange, but I don't know.
This is what I'm saying though. But you imagine the statement of name that you would go to. As long as it doesn't go to someone like a fucking Gerrard or someone like that, you know, anyone with ex-Villa ties. I mean, Gary O'Neill's probably not much better, but I mean, realistically, compared to the start of the season, if you were to ask me at the start of the season, there was 5 or 6 names that we could have gone with, and like I think I said it to you, James, on the phone the other day. I've seen people saying Carrick. Right now, he couldn't get Middlesbrough into the playoffs with the squad that they had. They've not made that many summer signings, and they're now they second place and absolutely barnstorming the way up there because they've got a manager who knows how to manage that team. If Carrick couldn't do it with them, what's he going to do when he comes in and he's got all this money to play with, and you know, a squad that's already kind of established itself in.
I think we need more urgency going forward. Like genuinely, we were going forward against Derby realistically.
John, me and you might agree on this because I mean we've both managed football teams in the past.
Yes.
You've got to change the tactics. You have to adapt to the league that we're in. We're not in League One anymore. We've got low blocks. We've got teams that lump it forward. We've got very smart technical teams. You've got to adapt to each game. It can't be this whole, I've got a tactic, it's not fucking moving.
I've been screaming for a 3-back or a 5-back for the last fucking 2 months. I'm just saying, just get me a 5-back with progressive wing backs and someone who can do a job. Put Dinny out wide left, put Patrick out wide right if you've got to, put 3 solid centre halves, 2 midfielders, 1 in behind, 2 strikers. Just cause chaos.
There's no plan B. There's no plan B with the Blues.
There is a plan B. The problem is the plan B, it becomes, we've got Kyogo on. Let's now cross the ball in when Duxter's come off. No, not with that. That winds me up.
No, so what the plan B is, I've noticed there's a pattern with Davis's plan Bs, and his plan B pattern is to concede 1 or 2, get to about the 75th minute, really fucking panic, and then go, right, Dykes, you go flick headers on, and everybody else get around him and win it, and we'll put 2 at the back, and then hope that everyone gets back in time. That seems to be the plan B.
How badly are we missing Ethan Laird right now?
Laird, I think. Do you know what? For the past, 3 seasons we've had him? 2 seasons, 3 seasons. I was very sceptical of keeping him around. I'm so fucking glad we did, because I look at it now and I go, holy shit! Right, that's the player that we need. You look at every game so far that we haven't had a Laird in the team, and you go, oh, Laird would have got forward there and he'd have got back and he'd made that block. Yes, Iwata does it, but Laird also will do it with a smile on his face and do it for 90 minutes. Iwata, you get about 45 to 50 minutes out of him doing it, and then eventually he just gives up and sits back. You know, yeah. I think that's my big thing is Laird does everything that we need.
And on that note, let's move off how bad yesterday was, because we've also got three fixtures of hell coming up. Let's be fair about it. First one coming up is Southampton away. Then we move into Southampton at home, into Watford away, where we haven't scored in about 15 years and we're shit at Watford away. And then we got top of the league at home, and we've got our captains missing 3 games, isn't it? Straight red, 3 games.
Doesn't Doyle miss 2 of them as well?
Doyle's back for Cov, but he'll miss Watford away and he'll miss Southampton at home.
I thought Doyle was only a 1-game ban. I don't know what
it's straight red, isn't it?
It was, wasn't it? Yeah, straight red. I had it in my head that it was 2 yellows, but
I would have felt that if I was a club. I'm not going to lie.
Sky confused the shit out of me because they put the graphic up. I mean, I was at the game, but when I've watched the replay back, their graphic for Klarer was 2 yellows. And then I was
so it was a straight red. I was in front of the ref, and he literally just went straight back pocket. Nah.
Yeah, but again, you look back at the replay, it wasn't as bad as it looked. you know.
He did technically win the ball, but also on a yellow card, you never ever put your foot that high.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah, no.
ridiculous.
But that again, as we said earlier, it looked like a bit of a, well, if you guys aren't going to do it, fuck you. I'm off to get changed and go and see my family. You know what I mean?
I'm off to Austria for a week. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, well, he's just had a little. He's just had a little, or his little on the way, maybe. But like that was I haven't spent long enough with my family over Christmas. Fuck you lot. I'm going back to the changing room. You know, if you lot don't want to do it, why the fuck should I do it? But I do. Before we move over, James, I do just want to say that I think a couple of fingers should have been pointed at Klarer in the past couple of weeks.
Yeah,
I do feel like as our captain, yeah, he's been very. Maybe this rest might be what he's needed to kind of go right. Okay, let's try something else instead of being an absolute shithouse. Maybe let's soften the approach a bit.
Maybe he's tired because we have played him in every single minute of every single game. You're willing to drop Neumann, drop Klarer, give him a rest.
He's 100%. He throws his heart into everything, and I think that's the big thing that, you know, it kind of segues over to these next few games. We are going to miss that heart and passion. I think with Dimmy not being out, if Dimmy is out and we do miss him, I'm just trying to have a look if we. No, we've got no update on Dimmy as far as I can see.
Yeah,
but he starts Lewis Koumas on Monday night. I'm going to scream.
I think if he starts Koumas on Monday night, then I might just kind of say, like, let's knock it on the head for a little while, because I think that shows where our ambitions lie. If you're any kind of manager and you've seen the pelters that kid's been getting online, and yes, he is still young, and maybe he shouldn't be kind of coming into the limelight as much as he is, but if you're willing to be a professional footballer and still not willing to do your work, I'm sorry, but you kind of deserve this from time to time. I've pointed out in the past, you know, I said this after Port Vale, he's not a good footballer. I've watched his touch map now, and every single time he's been on that pitch, he does a Y-shaped run, and he bombs down with the ball, and then it goes like, at the end, it either goes for a throw-in high up or a goal kick. There is no other way it goes. It's either a complete loss of possession, throw-in or goal kick. Nothing ever comes of his runs. He's a waste of space. I'm sorry. I don't even give a shit if he hears this. I'm sorry, but stop riding your dad's coattails and go and fucking become a brickie or something, because you're obviously not a good football player. How the fuck Liverpool have got him on the books is blowing my mind.
The thing that scares me the most is if the next three results go bad, we could be 20th, lads. 20th.
I mean, if you look at it, the next three fixtures, I mean, we've got Klarer missing 3 of them.
Doyle missing 2.
Doyle missing 2. We've got Damari. We don't know how far gone that is. We've got Cochrane missing, Laird, Buchanan, Scott Wright, all missing.
Scott Wright's surely back soon, isn't he?
Scott Wright should be end of January. I believe Laird's mid to late January. There's been no issued statement on Cochrane, which I find really weird. I've not seen any or heard anything, whether that's me not listening enough.
What do we reckon the squad's going to be for Southampton? I mean, our back four surely has to be Neumann, Robinson,
Iwata, and I'm hoping he starts Stansted.
Yeah, I'm going to go out on a win.
I have nothing against Cashin, but we're going to need some pace on Monday.
So for me now, I'm going to go the complete opposite way to you boys, and I'm going to say, if Cochrane's fit, Cochrane left back. If not, stick with Cashin, because he wasn't horrendous, wasn't great, wasn't horrendous. Robinson, Neumann, and Samsted. Then I'd go Iwata holding midfield. I'd go Paik and Leonard midfielders, and then I'd go the 3 up top. I'd go a flat 3 up top. I'd go Stano left side, Deutsch in the middle, and Roberts right side.
I think he's going to end up having to change something. I love Dykes, but he looks exhausted. I think Dykes needs a rest.
I mean, that's personally what I just. So I'm only saying this out of kind of what I think Davies will do. If it was my preferred opinion, I would go either Dykes or Kyogo in that middle position.
I think he'll start Dykes or Kyogo on Monday. I think he'll rest up some players. I think he knows. I love Stansfield, but everyone's figured out the blueprint of Stansfield, which is pack the midfield out and don't let him get near the ball. Yesterday, Stano hardly got a touch at times because they just frustrate him and he gets pissed off.
So when Doyle is back, would you be adverse to maybe giving Stano a rest for a week and just saying, look, you've worked your bollocks off. You're in a rut that isn't normal for you. Let's just kind of have a week or two to recuperate. You've obviously not recovered from the under-21s properly, because I think that was a big thing is he came from the under-21s knackered. Right. He's had a couple of little knocks throughout the season. Yeah, he's been as impressive as Stano always is, but do you then look in January and go, well, Dykes is probably going to go, so we're going to have another big kind of statement signing come in, and then do we kind of go, Koumas can go back to Liverpool because he's on loan, and we just trust Dimmy and Stano to run that left side, and whoever comes in will be your number 10 or your number 9.
I think there's a big changes coming out there. I think I'll worry for this week coming up. I would not be averse to just changing it up, get some fresh legs.
Southampton's going to be our worst game because I think, like, if you look at it, okay, probably Watford as well. We can get people in for the Coventry game. We can get signings prepared, and do you know what I mean? But
I think Southampton. I think a lot of people are worrying because of what we did when we went to their place. And as much as I don't want to write them off, and because I know for a fact this will come back to bite me on the arse, I wouldn't be as scared of Southampton as I am as Cov.
Yeah, Cov terrifies me.
Because Cov is genuinely like
playing shit and winning.
Cov is one of them where we're going to get laughed at because they were the ones at the start of the season that people were going, they might just creep playoffs. Mate, they're romping the league. And they're going to absolutely piss themselves that they're coming to the place where we let them have for a season, and they're going to come and they're just going to banter us how we're not going to fill 60,000 seats, and we are going to get absolutely ripped to shreds by them. And I hope in my heart of hearts that it's a close game and it's a 1-0, but I could see that being a 4-5-0 loss. Yeah. I think I overheard someone on Boxing Day refer to the home record as gone. We've got no home form left because, yes, we lost it earlier this season, but I think the Charlton and the Derby game do feel like we've lost all of our kind of credibility at home now.
With the same shit, different day at home. If we don't score in the first 20 minutes when we come out of the traps, we don't fucking know what to do after that. We kind of go, oh shit.
That isn't also helped by the fact that we are still fucking shite at home when it comes to support.
I think what we've got to look at as well, boys, is I know we're going on about the next 3 games and everything. How quick the turnaround is for the next 3 games. That's definitely big. I think any 3 of these teams are not 3 teams you want when you've got this quicker turnaround. And we're in the situation we're in.
Watford just went 1-0 down at Leicester and fucking won. Like, Watford have balls about them and Watford are playing.
Do we think this next week could be Davies's last?
I wanted, and I'm going to come out and say it, and George will agree with me, Charlton should have been his last.
Yeah.
He got outmanaged by a little Welsh dickhead.
Don't get me wrong. I think that, I as I said earlier, I don't want to constant revolving doors of managers, but you've either got to, like you said, Jamie, you've either got to give him the full backing in January, give him every bit of money that we have available to us to play with, and go and build that late title charge, like go and build that kind of promotion charge like team. Go and do it now, or you pull the trigger, let him go, and then say, right, okay, let's subsidise this season, get mid-table, and the next season we're going to go all out.
Yeah.
It's got to be one of the two, and I think these next 3 games the long way of answering your question, John, would be that I think these next 3 games will tell us what we're going to get. Should we expect mid-season, or should we expect someone to come in and give us a late kind of charge up the league? I think these next 3 are vital to finding out where the season goes.
Agree. Right. Let's skip this on to the final section now. And Jord, Wanker of the week.
Wanker of the week. And do you know what? This stung a little bit thinking about it earlier, because I genuinely really had some great memories of the bloke. But Deion Sanderson, you are a prick. You are an absolute cock. And I hope that someone does a Robbie Savage to you. And, you know, if you ever come back to us with Derby, I hope that someone fucking gives you the Grealish treatment, because you are an absolute wanker. How are you going to go against not only a former team of yours, you know, but someone who gave you the trust to be a captain that you clearly weren't good enough to be, and still be employed by those people, and then put Instagram posts out celebrating a draw at your old place? You've got no bollocks on you whatsoever. You know, at least Bakuna, when he put on Villa shorts, admitted that he'd made a mistake, and his brother actually had some credibility to come out and say, "Oh no, they were mine." You know, that bloke threw up the Zeds at West Brom because we meant something to him at the time. You threw it up because you're a little Wolves wanker, you little dingle, and I absolutely hate him. I cannot stand it. I can't sit here and pretend that, you know, because you played for our club, I've got some sort of love for you still. You don't go out and do stuff like that on social media, acting like you're some fucking Johnny Big Bollocks because you want your 300k move. You don't deserve £3, you absolute boiling pot of piss. You know what I mean? Just absolute knob. Lewis Koumas can come second to my wanker of the week, because I just think that
Is it a close second, George?
Not even close, mate. The thing is I won't give wanker of the week to one of our own players, because at the end of the day, well, you've still got the shirt and I've got to get behind you in some sort of way. As much as I don't want him here, I'll get behind him the same as I did with Ollie Burke. I'll just kind of grin and bear it. But Deion Sanderson, the fact that you've pulled on our shirt and then you go out and do stuff like that on social media, you grotty little scumbag. You know what I mean? There's a reason why Wolves didn't want you in the Prem, because you're shit.
Let's go back to a comment you made earlier, George. Wanker of the decade.
Wanker of the decade, Nathan Jones.
This is always will be. Always will be. If one day we ever become the team where we get Nathan Jones as a manager, I think I'd see Jordan's head past my house and end up on Mars.
Do you know what? I was sat in a main stand for Charlton, and the little twat at one point, we were on the attack, and he told his keeper to sit down. And I'm as far as I was away from him, and I was saying to my mate next to me, I was like, I'm going to charge down there in a minute, I'm going to chin him. I was like, he's telling his keeper to sit down. And then when they scored, he turned and celebrated and started thrusting at the crowd. And I was like, you little prick. Like, do you know what, right? Last season, I made the comment about him being wanker of the week, wanker of the decade, wanker of the fucking century. I don't care what you give him. The guy's a prick. Do you know, he's one of the most hateable men in football. I think he's up there with Mason Greenwood in my eyes. I hate him.
According to him, he was the best manager in Europe at one point.
Yeah. Do you remember that? Was it at Stoke or Southampton? Yeah, that lasted.
They beat Man City the only time they won that season, I think, in the cup match, and they were like, "Yeah, I'm great."
It lasted 3 great games. I can't wait for him to be managing Kidderminster Harriers in 5 years. The fucking freak.
He's a dick, but listen, we're in for a long week, lads, and we can't wait to. It's either we'll be happy next week or I'll be screaming. So, on that note, boys, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on. Thank you both.
Yeah,
as always. Always.
You'll see me more now.
Love that. But yeah, this has been Lawlor's Law, guys. Please like, comment, subscribe, get the word out. We're pissed off. This ain't going to go well. This week is terrifying. And keep right on.
Keep right on.